This movie begins with a vintage view of the city of New Jersey. Buildings with bricks line up the street, and old model Peugeot cars are driving to and fro. It's 1928, and the students of Spectral Valley High are having an excursion in the MK Museum. The museum guide shares the story of Eos and Tithonus. Eos was the goddess of love who fell in love with a mortal, Tithonus. At Eos's request, Zeus granted Tithonus eternal life. But he didn't give him eternal youth. He aged, yet kept on living. Eos helped the situation by letting Tithonus go. While the guide narrates the story, B, a student, does her own thing. She's not paying attention to the story being told. She's fascinated by a small stringed instrument she tries to touch. The teacher calls on her to pay attention, and she focuses for only that minute. The moment the teacher isn't watching her, she turns to the instrument and plays it. They continue their tour around the museum. A classmate asks B why she touched the instrument. B says she only wanted to have a feel of the old-looking thing and doesn't regret touching it. B and her friend remain at the back of the group as they continue their tour. They spot a no trespassing sign, but B's curious and stubborn nature pushes her to ignore it. For B, a warning to desist from doing something is a perfect invitation to indulge in it. Her classmate tries to stop her, but she's made up her mind already. B enters the place and finds artifacts kept in different sections. She sees a pair of rings with green pearls on top that glow brighter even as she steps closer. Intrigued, B opens the box holding them, but a security guard startles her when he shouts in her direction. B quickly picks up half a pair of the ring, getting defensive. The security personnel questions B's presence there, and B swears that she didn't see a warning sign. She tries to play a fast one on the guard by asking him to close his eyes. The plan is to put the ring back. The guard is in no mood for games and won't do as he's told, so B leaves with the ring he's failed to notice is missing. The students are done for the day. They all step out, B included. The ring captivates her with its beauty and glow, completely distracting her from a car that swerves off the road, losing control, and crashing into her. In 2024 New Jersey, with modern houses and new cars, Cole and his mom, Katrina, arrive at their new apartment with their dog, Norman. The place is quiet, so they take a moment to observe their surroundings before stepping out. In the car, Katrina asks Cole what he thinks of the building. He says it's okay but feels a bit nostalgic. They start to move their belongings into the apartment. Cole explores the space and discovers a vintage music disc player blaring at full volume that he promptly turns off. Over dinner, Katrina asks Cole how he feels about starting at his new school. Ironically, Cole is busy opting out of all social media activities related to it. Given his love for music, Katrina is surprised that he's even opted out of the school choir. She encourages him to engage in the things he loves. They hear a thudding sound from a room upstairs, so Cole goes to investigate. As he arranges some fallen items, B is seen talking to him, though she is invisible and inaudible to Cole. When he walks out, B sadly remarks that no one ever listens to her. Norman senses her presence and begins to growl. The next day is Cole's first day at school. The yard is chaotic as he walks into his classroom. Someone shoves him, but Cole continues, unbothered. In Mr. Porter's class, the first question of the day is directed at Cole, who fumbles it, and the entire class follows suit. Mr. Porter encourages them to do some reading. As the class ends and students hurry out, Mr. Porter calls Cole aside and asks why he claimed he hadn't read the book when asked earlier. Cole doesn't explain. Mr. Porter advises him to stop keeping his opinions to himself because it's a dull way to live. He believes Cole has much to offer because he was once like him. At the canteen, Lydia approaches Cole. She tells him she senses a loss around him. She points out a large hole in his bread, saying it confirms her intuition. Lydia explains that this doesn't necessarily mean he'll pass on. Perhaps someone who has perished is influencing his life and decisions. She offers to help him with some cleansing and invites him to check out her YouTube channel, where she posts tutorials on spirituality and ghosts. Cole takes a bite of the bread, and Lydia mentions that he might have just eaten a curse by consuming the whole. Cole feels lost as Lydia continues to ramble on. Back home, he sees a picture of his dad, which brings back memories of the good times they spent playing music together. While opening his wardrobe to find something, he stumbles upon a semi-hidden compartment. Inside, he discovers a journal documenting B's activities. He immediately wonders if the girl in the journal, B, lived in the apartment. As he flips through the pages, B suddenly closes the book, startling him. He can't see her and is puzzled about why the book shut on its own. Still shaken, he fails to notice a ring lying on the floor. The next morning, as Cole prepares for school, he spots the magical ring worn by Bee in the past. He puts it on and instantly begins to see and hear Bee. Shocked, he takes the ring off and on again. Bee pleads with him to stop removing it so they can talk. Reluctantly, Cole agrees, and soon they sit down, ready to converse. Bee confirms that she's a ghost. She explains that she passed away many years ago and recounts the incident at the museum. After the accident, she found herself in her bedroom. It's the same one Cole now occupies. She discovered she was confined to the house and took it upon herself to scare away potential buyers. Katrina enters the room and startles Cole. He fears she might see Bee, but Bee reassures him that Katrina can't see her. Removing the ring ensures that Bee has no access to him before he heads to school. It's Mr. Porter's class again, where he maintains his literal teaching style. As the class wraps up, he informs the students that the school's talent show is approaching and encourages everyone to apply. When Cole gets home, he finds his mom watching videos of him and his dad singing and playing guitar. She is sobbing, completely unaware of his presence. The loss of Cole's dad has deeply affected her. Not wanting to disturb her, Cole retreats to his room. Hoping the earlier incident with Bee was just a hallucination, he puts on the ring, but there's no sign of her. This excites him. As he opens his wardrobe, he finds Bee standing inside. Startled, he quickly shuts the wardrobe door. Bee walks through the closed door, wondering why Cole expected not to see her. He hasn't fully grasped that he now shares his room with Bee, the room's owner, from 1928. Bee is happy to see Cole. She explains that she was searching for some of her belongings, which is why Cole found her in the wardrobe. Bee wants Cole to stop hoping for things to change. Cole, starting to understand his new reality, states his rule. If they have to share the room, Bee must avoid him. He says he will act like she doesn't exist, and wants Bee to do the same. Bee doesn't like that. She complains about her long lack of companionship and wishes she and Cole could bond and talk sometimes. Cole, however, is not interested in bonding with a ghost. He makes this clear, which hurts Bee. With no other choice, Bee accepts Cole's rule. He takes off the ring after saying goodbye, and Bee vanishes. A few seconds later, Cole notices Bee moving a chair across the room. He wears the ring and finds Bee standing on the chair, looking at framed pictures of music stars. Bee doesn't recognize them, so Cole has to explain. He's fascinated that she enjoys music. Bee insists that music is more than just a hobby. Her parents were musicians, and she grew up learning music. She mentions seeing Cole's guitar earlier, and Cole replies that he no longer plays it. Bee asks why, but Cole is tired of the conversation. He tells her to stop moving things around, and then he takes off the ring. The next day, Katharina serves Cole dinner. She mentions hearing him talking in his room the previous day, thinking he was on the phone with friends. Cole agrees with her to avoid explaining about Bee. While looking for salt, Katharina turns away, and Bee picks it up, dropping it in front of Cole. This startles him, and he screams. To keep Katharina from noticing Bee's activities, he quickly says he's just concerned about her salt intake, explaining that too much salt can cause high blood pressure. Katharina feels emotional that her son cares about her and assures him that she will be fine. Katharina imagines that her husband's absence is affecting Cole, so she encourages him to open up. She insists they need to discuss how he's coping with his father's passing. Deep down, Cole is struggling, but only pretends to be tough. Later, Cole goes to his room and wears the ring again. Bee shows up and apologizes to him. Cole remains calm, but warns her not to show up near his mom again. She doesn't need a century-old ghost around while dealing with the loss of her husband. Cole promises to hang out with Bee if it means she stays away from his mom. Bee agrees, but first wants to know what Cole means by calling her a century-old ghost. Cole explains that they are at a different time than when she passed away. He reassures her not to think she's that old because she still looks young. Bee is shocked to learn how much time has passed and begs Cole to help her get acquainted with the present. Their bond strengthens a bit more. Cole encourages Bee to step outside of the house, but Bee is skeptical at first because she has successfully stepped out before. She finally takes a deep breath and tries it, and to her surprise, she finds herself outside the house. Bee thinks it's the ring that has allowed her to take this step. She deduces that she can only go where the ring goes. Filled with excitement, Bee realizes that she has finally stepped out into the world. She has been waiting for this moment to at least soak in the fresh air, even though ghosts can't breathe in the way the living do. She begs Cole to take her to different places because she wants to feel alive again, even if just for a little while. Cole agrees and takes her to various locations to make her happy. They explore, and Bee sees sights she never thought were possible. She's amazed at how much the world has changed since her time. The words that Cole uses surprise her, modern and different. Everything feels transformed from the time she was alive. She notices that the food is different too, but sadly, she can't indulge in any meals. Cole spends more time helping Bee catch up on music. He shows her all the significant changes and developments she has missed over the years. Bonding with Bee gives Cole the chance to show off his extensive musical knowledge. He tries to explain the progress and transition music has made over time. It's quite hard for Bee to fully grasp Cole's contemporary communication style, but she makes an effort to understand. That evening, Bee reveals her childhood dream of becoming a pilot. She explains that being a female discouraged her from pursuing that dream. She mentions that aside from Amelia Earhart, no other lady had ever had that opportunity. Cole thinks that she could have gone ahead and chased her aspirations regardless of gender. However, Bee soon finds out that Amelia has passed away, and this news breaks her heart. She still believes that everyone she knew back then should be alive somehow. As the city bell rings, signaling that it's midnight, Bee suddenly feels a glitch-like sensation in her hand. Cole realizes he has to sleep so he can wake up refreshed and ready for school the next day. Bee begs to go with Cole to school. He's reluctant at first, but Bee keeps asking until he finally agrees. The next day, Cole is at school while Bee follows him around, her eyes wide with wonder. She's amazed at how different the school she once attended looks now. Almost everyone is wearing a costume, which adds to the festive atmosphere. Shortly after, Lydia appears in a horrifying costume and startles Cole. She tells him that she wishes to apply for the school's talent show. Lydia explains that she has created an apparatus that can detect vampires. She contemplates applying but worries that it might be too much science for her classmates, who she fears won't be able to appreciate her work or her creativity. Bee finds Cole and starts asking him questions about Lydia. Cole tries to dodge her questions because he doesn't want to give off any weird vibes. Bee keeps insisting that Lydia is his girlfriend, but Cole doesn't say anything, leaving Bee to wonder why he's not engaging with her. Lydia senses something off and turns to Cole, pointing in Bee's direction. Cole quickly waves it off, trying to brush it aside. Panicking, Cole takes off the ring, thinking it might help. But then Lydia spots it and shows interest. Cole feels awkward as she asks about it, and he hastily tells her he needs to leave. They do their usual high five, and as he walks away, he warns Bee to stop interrupting him when he's around other people. Cole finds Bee playing the piano at school. He grabs his guitar and sits next to her, and they start playing some tunes together, enjoying the moment. Meanwhile, Lydia is busy researching ancient rings, and she's convinced that Cole's ring has some special powers. After a while, she discovers it's a cursed ring that has a matching pair somewhere out there. The ring was cursed by a priest so that a couple would never be apart, even in their demise. Anyone who tries to separate the rings faces a violent end, doomed to wander the earth until the rings are reunited. Lydia is taken aback by this information. In the evening, Bee and Cole are at the park again, catching up on music. Bee expresses her surprise that Cole isn't playing at the school's talent show. He explains that it's been a long time since he played. He mentions that his father taught him to play the guitar, and dwells on the fact that he was a musical genius. His father played with passion, with his heart on his sleeve. Tragedy struck when his father passed away from a heart attack, making it a tough day for both Cole and his mom. Bee shares her feelings with Cole, talking about her situation. She doesn't understand why she's still here, watching people pass away and seeing new lives come into the world. She wishes she could go back to her old life, even for just one day. Bee brings up that today marks the anniversary of her passing. Cole wants her to have a great time, so he suggests they do something fun together. They decide to head to a fancy clubhouse, where there's a Gatsby-themed party going on, and only folk music is playing. Bee's heart skips a beat because this is exactly what she needs. At one party, somebody bumps into Bee, sending her sprawling. Well, she's about to fall, and Cole catches her. And they both stop, surprised that he actually did touch her. In that instant, Bee experiences a rush of life she hasn't felt in over 100 years, and she instinctively hugs Cole. It is a feeling she never believed she would experience once more. Cole then takes her somewhere else, where they change into clothes that are appropriate for the party. Cole wears a suit, while Bee wears a shiny blue dress. Bee looks stunning, and Cole can't stop gushing over Bee's beauty. The party time begins as couples go on stage to dance and give everyone a show. Bee signals to the comper that she and Cole want to hit the dance floor. Cole isn't comfortable with that, but Bee makes him do it. They go on stage and the music starts to play. As they dance, Cole confesses that he feels embarrassed. Bee advises him to free himself and just dance. In a short while, Bee and Cole are off the stage. On the return walk, Bee reveals some of her childhood past. She says to Cole that her best moments were listening to her parents play music. They arrive at a cemetery, and Bee wonders why Cole brought her there. Cole wants to show her a close view of an airplane flying. They sit in a quiet corner, and when one plane passes by, Bee is excited. They try to hold each other again, but Cole realizes he can't. Bee's hand keeps glitching. Later, Lydia sends Cole a message asking him to meet her at the school library. When he arrives, she tells him everything she knows about the ring. She mentions that she's been haunted by a ghost. Cole pretends to be shocked and screams. Lydia insists they need to fix the situation. She explains that the curse states anyone who separates the rings comes alive only on the anniversary of their passing. Cole thinks this might be why Bee came alive at the Gatsby party. Lydia tells Cole that she discovered the other ring and that it is going to be auctioned. She says to him, go over there and join the rings before the auction. If he does, the ghost will be free. Cole is torn. Setting the ghost free means Bee will no longer be there. But Lydia insists that he must stop the ghost that haunts him. Finally, Cole returns home and works out different ways to tell Bee that Lydia has found out, and then he goes into his bedroom. He finds Bee has decorated his space, and he's pleasantly surprised. Bee urges him to play some music while she listens. Cole tries to mention his meeting with Lydia, but Bee is too focused on the music. She asks him to play, and he enjoys making music while she watches. Bee thinks his playing is wonderful and wants him to perform at the school's talent show. After some persuasion, Cole agrees, deciding not to tell her about Lydia's findings just yet. In class the next day, Mr. Porter shares the test results, and Cole realizes he didn't do well. Mr. Porter announces that the talent show has been postponed. After class, Cole approaches Mr. Porter to understand why he failed. Mr. Porter explains that Cole didn't meet the expectations set for him and gives him some advice before he leaves. Back at the school's music room, Cole is having a hard time playing the piano. He explains that he failed his test, and that's why he can't play. Bee sees a text from Lydia talking about their plans to let a ghost go. She quizzes Cole, and Cole tells Bee all Lydia has told him. Cole wouldn't want Bee to leave, but Bee is tired of being stuck. She wants them to find the other ring and return it. Cole confesses that the auction has passed, and Bee is vexed that Cole has let the opportunity for her to be free pass by. Cole says he didn't want to lose Bee, hence his decision. Bee asks Cole to leave her alone, so Cole takes off the ring, drops it on the piano, and leaves. Lydia finds out that Cole is playing music at the school. She goes over to meet him there, but finds that the piano is playing on it. She finds the ring and puts it on, making Bee visible to her. Lydia greets Bee politely, and they exchange friendly pleasantries. At home, Katharina notices Cole's dull demeanor, so she goes to cheer him up. Cole covertly explains his situation to his mom using a novel. Katharina notices a family picture of Cole on his laptop and thinks he's feeling sad again about his father's demise. She believes they're going through this because his dad was a good man. Katharina tells Cole that when good people are gone, their memories should bring comfort to those left behind. She encourages him to find solace in those memories. Meanwhile, Lydia and Bee talk about Bee's experiences while she was alive. Lydia explains that Cole truly cares for Bee, which is why he has acted the way he has. Cole is determined to change things. He calls the auction house to find out who bought the ring that was already auctioned. He learns that all auctions will be shipped to buyers the next day, which gives him hope. He rushes back to the school's music room to meet Bee. He starts by apologizing to Bee and tells her that the ring is still at the museum, and this means that they still have a chance. Lydia arrives with a car key, and the three of them drive to the museum. Lydia decides to wait in the car while Bee and Cole go inside. Bee helps by passing through locked doors and opening them from the other side. They find the External Affairs Division, and soon enough, Cole discovers the box containing the other half of the ring. At this moment, Bee feels both happy and sad. Just as Cole is about to take off the ring, she asks him to stop. Almost in tears, Cole is silenced by a kiss from Bee. After the kiss, she tells him she's ready and waves goodbye. Cole removes the ring, and Bee disappears. He places the ring with its other half, feeling a deep sadness. The last few days with Bee were wonderful, and now he feels empty as he walks back to the car and then home. When he gets home, Cole picks up Bee's photo diary and smiles as he flips through it. The pictures have changed. Now they show Bee living a full life, marrying, starting a family, and even becoming a pilot. Cole feels happy and finally understands what this all means. Bee is back in 1928 at the museum. She sees the security officer who found her before. It's time to correct her past mistakes. With the officer's eyes closed, Bee returns the ring to its pair. She then follows her classmates outside, surprised to see that life has continued since she left. The same car that hit her before swerves toward her again, but this time she dodges it. In Cole's school, Mr. Porter is reading Cole's corrected test. Cole has taken Mr. Porter's advice and put his all into it, exciting Mr. Porter, who has always believed Cole has more to offer. The next few days, Cole lives in his memories with Bee, and then decides to go back to music, which he has always enjoyed. Bee and her schoolmates press on at the City Theater. Cole's in the theater playing his guitar and singing. They live in separate centuries and are blind to each other, but they sense each other somehow. Cole sings like Bee's there and Bee smiles, relishing the music. Cole's song expresses his ongoing feeling of Bee's presence.